Hola people, how's everyone doing today? Well, as you can see by the title of the video, today we are doing another concealer hunt in my series. So I started this concealer hunt because, as you can see, I have very prominent dark under eye circles and also darkness over my lids as well that kind of really extends, and it looks like I have shadow on, but I don't. It's just my natural hyperpigmentation. So it's one of those things that diet, sleep, genetics, all that stuff kind of calls into play what goes on with hyperpigmentation around your eyes right there. Oh, today we are going to be using the Makeup Forever, what do you call it? The Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin 24-hour foundation. And let's see, what are some of the claims? I'm here on Sephora right now. And it says basically it's a 24-hour waterproof concealer with a transfer-proof natural matte finish and breathable full coverage to conceal, correct, and contour. Full coverage, matte finish, liquid formulation, skin type normal, dry, combination, oily, so basically everybody. And it says that you need to know that this full coverage blurring concealer is waterproof, sweat-proof, transfer-proof, and delivers 24-hour wear. Lightweight and airy, this is blendable, multitasking formula that has an extra large applicator and a precision tip to use all over the face to spot, conceal, correct under eye circles, or to contour. Those are some big claims. Y'all know how I feel about big claims, right? Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We are gonna do the concealer on one side of my eye, top and below. See if you can see any of the darkness throughout, and then we're going to use my peach corrector on the other side and then put the concealer over top and see if there's going to be that much of a difference, because according to this I shouldn't have to color correct because it's full coverage and it's used for correcting. I have this in the shade 4.4, which I believe is for, what is the undertones for this? So 4.4 is caramel for tan skin with bright peach undertones. Yeah, so we'll see. The woman that they picked for 4.4 I thought was kind of close to my complexion, and I have worn this concealer about 3 times now, so this is not a first impression. I've used it on a couple of different foundations that I've had, and I've had some mixed ideas of how I feel about certain things, but I'll leave those toward the end. But this is the packaging right here, very sleek and very Makeup Forever, just like their foundations. I don't think I have a big one of their foundation anymore, but still like the same type of sleekness that they have. But that foundation is bomb, so I was hoping that this concealer would also be as great. So go ahead and give you just a quick swatch of what this looks like. So as you can see, definitely has a little bit of yellow and peachiness to this, which normally I like neutral, but I was trying to guess my shade as my mom was at Sephora picking this up for me as a gift. So I normally use a brush for concealer. Sometimes I'll use a sponge afterward just to kind of like smooth it out a little bit, but you're supposed to just be smooth coverage on its own. So, you know, let's see what it does. So, okay, hair is getting long again. It's time for me to cut it. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and go in with the applicator, and I'm gonna do it like how I normally would. And normally I would actually let my concealer dry down, but I feel like because this one has claims of being full coverage, I shouldn't have to do that, right? It should just be full coverage right out of the bottle. Okay, so that is what one layer looks like. So there is obviously a drastic difference from this side to this side, but I definitely can still see darkness peeking through here. And I don't like to use a lot of concealer in layers because then it'll just get cakey. And I have noticed if I use too much of this concealer, it does get cakey because I do have fine lines underneath my eyes, as you all can see right there. So I'm gonna dab just a little bit more, just right here. Just what I already had left on the brush. I'm not going back in. Now I'm putting that back in. So I'm actually going to let that stay for a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and start color correcting on the other side. So this is my AJ Crimson Deep Peach Corrector 102. If you don't know, AJ Crimson is a black owned makeup brand. He is a makeup artist, and he creates some beautiful, beautiful complexion products for people of color. Normally I would color correct just down here. I don't normally color correct up top. I usually use a primer that would take care of that. And I put way too much corrector on, so let me wipe my brush off a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna finish blending this one out. All right, so that's what that looks like with no corrector. And then now we're gonna go in on this side and do it with the corrector. So I just dipped it back in. I will say one thing, a little bit definitely goes a long way. So there you go. So without the corrector and with the corrector. So I can definitely see a difference with the corrector. With the corrector, it looks a lot more brighter. Without the corrector, you can still see a little bit of shadow and darkness. It's not a huge difference, but there is a difference, especially in this area right here where I normally get like that dip. But I think for a concealer, it's not bad. I definitely think that you have to be careful because if you use too much, it does cake up into the fine lines of your eyes. So do light layers moving in. And I don't have any idea if it's gonna last 24 hours because there's no way in the world that I would wear concealer or makeup for 24 hours to do this. I do think that it starts off with a natural finish, and then as it dries down, it starts to look a little bit more matte. But when they say that they feel like their skin is breathable, I would not consider this a breathable concealer. Like, I definitely feel this on my skin. I do think it looks a little bit more skin-like, but I don't feel like it actually feels that way. And then as for like smoothing out, I still see a ton of texture underneath my eye here. So I don't think that part feels completely accurate either. Again, I have a lot of texture and fine lines and everything. I do have more mature skin. I'm 37 years old, but even though it looks blurring on camera, in person, I can definitely still see a lot of my pores and everything in this area. But all in all, I think the color is actually not too bad either. Maybe a tinge too dark, because I like my under eyes just to look the same as the rest of my body. I don't want it to look like it's highlighted. So if you are someone who wants that type of thing, 4.4 might be great for you. If you want something lighter, then you might want to go 4.2, 4.3 along those lines. But yeah, I think that this definitely the biggest thing for me is I felt like a little bit went a long way. You're able to like blend it out really well with a brush or with a sponge. And I feel like it does look really nice. I don't feel like it looks matte, totally matte though. Maybe that's why they say it's like a breathable matte. I feel like it has a little bit of a natural finish, more so than a matte finish, because I can still see radiance peeking through my concealer, and all I have is just my regular skincare underneath it. So yeah, it's kind of hard to understand why they're saying that it's a matte foundation. So yeah, So those are the things that contradict what they're saying a little bit. I do think this is high coverage. If you're somebody who likes just a little bit of a splattering of concealer, then this is not going to be for you. This is definitely high coverage. This is for those people who are trying to cover all of their sins and transgressions, whatever it is going on in their life. This concealer is close to it. I've never tried Tape Shape. No, that's wrong. I never tried Shape Tape, but it does have that same type of applicators like the Shape Tape and like how the other e.l.f. concealer and all those have them. But I do like the texture. I do like that they have the good shade range. I think there's 22 colors in their shade range for concealers, which is not bad. And the undertone's not bad. It has a peachy undertone, which I thought, you know, is still pretty correcting on its own, but definitely with the peach corrector underneath it, it's even better. But all in all, I am happy with this concealer and I do plan on using it in future videos, so look out for that. Well, if that's all, I hope that you guys like this video, and if you do, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you all in the next one. Bye.